Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. On today's recap, we're going to talk about The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 15, Episode 11. I have tried to record this several times now. This is my fourth attempt, and I keep deleting the recordings because I just get so frustrated and mad. It took everything in me, to quote the iconic The Brooke Ashley here on YouTube, to get through this episode, to get all my information together, to relive the thirst, the desperation, the double standards, the stale storylines of the women dating some fake men and relationships, the boring conversations. The cast needs to have a shakeup. Bravo needs to do some work here after the reunion. But anyways, let's get right into it nonetheless. So we pick up where we left off last episode with Sheree and Drew. They are still getting into it because they're going back and forth with this lawsuit that Drew has been involved in with this girl that wanted to cook for her family and scam her out of money. We see Drew getting visibly upset and just kind of melting down, having a little meltdown. We obviously can tell that it's not because of the lawsuit, but I will get into that later. This thirsty ass, cousin sitting across from her, laughing at her whilst Drew is storming off of the table. How are you just so disingenuous and fake when you claim to have this love and found this family? And I mean, Drew's the only reason why you're on the show. That's not a nice way to repay. But I digress. Drew goes outside. She gets followed by Sheree, Kenya, and Sonia. They try to talk to her. They want to mend the situation. Sheree tries to show some compassion. They kind of squash it. Kenya then throws some shade about paying the lawsuit, but it is very visible that she was upset because of Ralph and her home life and situation. But then we switch back to the group inside of the restaurant, and the girls confront Candy as to why she has this missing work-life balance and how she does it all, and how she's been kind of missing for them and on them, because as you guys know, we've seen Candy like 6-7 times this season, and it's episode 11. Anyways, it's the next day. The girls get ready for the trip to the market, to the fish market. Kenya falls flat on her behind with the hip hitting the floor, and the girls are scared. Sheree is the only one to kind of, get up from the seats and actually help Kenya. All the others are a little too stunned to speak, as I, observed, but it could also be production that told them to not go. And then we have Miss Sesame Street from Atlanta, Miss I Am So Desperate to Be on the Show, whose name shall not be mentioned, going up to Drew and telling her that it was a karmic response that Kenya fell flat on her behind. And we have her smirking around, kind of giving the evil eye. It gave very much auntie father's side. It gave very much evil Just because Kenya told you not to touch her, girl, no. Please, I try so hard to like everybody and be an empath and remind myself that these are just humans, but Courtney, stop. Even Drew looked at you funny because what you said was so, it was a reach and just not needed. Even Drew called you out on that. Anyways, the girls go to the fish market. I'm not gonna hold you too long because many of these scenes seemed as if they were filler episodes. Many of the girls were on their phone. There was no organic chemistry. I felt like Sheree and Marlo were trying to hold the chemistry together, but I digress once again. And then we see Monietta at the dinner or lunch where they consumed the food that they picked out at the fish market, shade Marlo because of the date that she had with her restaurant. I forgot his name, whatever his name is. And how I still don't understand how Kenya got to expose Martell, which I think it was good that she did, don't get me wrong, but Marlo can't mention that she went on a date with Roy. The double standard for me. And also Martell and this phone call, Sheree, that was so produced. He was on phone speaker, and are you seriously going to think that the audience is going to believe that? Please, Sheree, you can do better. You're my girl, but no, it gave very much a teenager, and I just cringed. The girls then go from their dinner to a pottery place, and they do some nice pottery. They relax. Kenya gets back from the hospital with candy. They get some KFC. They go back to the rooms, and then Sheree decides to get everybody together to her room because she's going to throw a little slumber party. Drew decides to call out Candy because Candy said that Drew was acting, and she said and scene, and I honestly thought I can understand both sides. It wasn't that deep, but I'm a fellow Taurus as well, like Drew and Candy, so I'm kind of in the middle. But it was a bit shady. But then here we have Courtney again defending Candy to Drew's face. And is that the loyalty you give to the person that brings you onto the show? Drew, you better watch out. And I hope you don't keep in touch with this thirsty woman after you divorce that trash bag of a man that you call husband at home. Sonia opens up about her family dynamics once again. She was wiping something that supposedly should have been tears. I didn't see any. Marlo then addresses the she by Sheree things because now I will have to defend Sonia again. She did actually seem very genuine in trying to support Sheree, and Sheree kind of clowned them all back, and especially Sonia when she said, I gave $5,000 to your charity and now you do not support me. I just feel like if you do donate money, it's not because you expect something back, Sheree. It's out of the goodness of your own heart, but we all know finances and Sheree are a bit, they can get a bit funny at times. We see the website crashing once again because of the women mentioning it all, to quote the iconic Bethany Frankel, and that was pretty much the episode. It was fine, it was good-ish, and then we see this very juicy clip, which I was very happy to see because we got some, excitement flowing. Production wraps. Then 1 hour later, some little behind the scenes cameras or the camera of the ladies pick up back filming, and they record this conversation about Drew and Bolo and the season 13 mess back when her girl Portia was on the show, blessing our screens. Drew is having these lesbian alleged rumors back then as well, because many of you might recognize this flashback. Cameras could not accurately pick up what was going down around 2 or 3 a.m. with LaToya, Portia, Drew, and Candy. Candy said she went to sleep, but allegedly she saw how Drew and LaToya were making out. Drew denies this all. We also see LaToya back on our screens again, and shout out to LaToya for actually kind of spicing season 13 up. I wouldn't be mad to see her again on our screens as a friend of or a potential housewife. Maybe let's start off with the friend of role to see if she can prove herself to be in the spot of a housewife. She said, "You cheated on your husband with me." There's no denying that they had a little kiss, a little something going on. Again, Drew does deny this. And my theory in her denying is that probably because of all of the legal things that are going on with the divorce, I think it will be best for her to be as clean as possible in the cheating aspect of the things, because we don't want her losing more money and giving some to Ralph that he clearly does not deserve for the way he has behaved in their marriage. Even Marlo is confused, and I will say that Marlo and Kenya's confessionals this episode, they were very good. They made me laugh a lot, and Marlo is confused because she's starting to believe Drew's lies. A producer confronts Drew about the fact that, or the question, if Drew has ever kissed a woman. She, again, denies. But here comes production, something I appreciate very much because this is reality TV. 3 months later, we've all seen the divorce news. Ralph Pittman divorces from Drew Sidora. Marlo breaks these news to Sheree on FaceTime whilst reading an article, and the both of them are shocked. I can understand. Drew has put their marriage always on a semi-unrealistic pedestal at the beginning when she was brought onto the show. So it's a shocker because she was always that girl saying my man and her husband and how they work things through. But this is it. This is the time where the rest of the season is going to get juicy, very, very juicy. I just hope that the next couple of episodes are not going to be filler. I hope we see some Cynthia Bailey in the house. I hope we see some interesting scenes in the house. And we see also Ralph here confronting Drew. And Drew, you better tell him in your alleged ways that you actually did cheat on him back, because yes, you could do that, because yes, he deserves that for the way he treated you. And yeah, no shame in the game, in my opinion. And we see a producer asking Courtney, what did Ralph say? Courtney seems to be holding back to get a moment out of it all so she can have her 5 seconds of whatever she's trying to grasp onto. And we then, after this scene, see the article that has been written about Drew with her alleged, you know, entanglements that allegedly she's been, written into in the media with Tai Young, the rapper, the beautiful rapper, that I put a picture up of the two right here in this slide. It could be plausible. It could be possible that they did have something going on. I wouldn't be mad when confronted who Tai Young is and what the relationship is and what it entails, and if they're more than friends. Drew starts crying. I am so pumped to see the realness and rawness of the storyline, because I did miss something like this on RHOA. And all in all, I thought that this episode was not bad, but it gave me some heart palpitations here or there, because I couldn't bear the double standards of them all. And is it time for Candy to leave? Is it time for her to go be a part-time housewife? Is it time for the cast to be cleaned up? We don't need these side characters like Sonia and Courtney. I am just so sick of them, especially Courtney. I don't have anything against Sonia personally or anything like that. I think she's so nice, but yeah. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe. Give me your opinion, and let's discuss in the comments down below. Thank you so much for listening. See you next time. Bye.